So they're excellent batteries. They do come at a cost. You buy once, you cry once.
Everybody's on their phone with the calculator right now.
Correct. Kind of like an urban legend at this point. It's not really that big of a deal. So if it's freezing out below those temperatures, these will not charge.
I'm gonna prove them wrong.
Let's talk about something really important for RVers, something that's often overlooked, especially with newer RVers. It's going to be the power system, the energy system on your RV, on your motorhome, whatever it is. It's super important, and it can make the difference between a pleasurable camping trip and one that's not so pleasurable.
So almost all RVs come with a 12-volt system that's going to be handled by your batteries. Some RVs have limited battery systems. So on our Jayco travel trailer that we had one battery. So you weren't able to run a lot unless we were plugged in. On Nelly now, we have a nice amount of batteries, which we're going to get into. So we're able to do much more.
When we bought Nelly, like MJ said, we had an array of batteries. It came with 4 lead acid batteries and 2 inverters. And the reason why we needed those inverters was to change the 12 volt to 120 volt so we could run our residential appliances, TVs, and so on. But there was a lot of limits to that system. When we have upgraded, we did a video about this. We'll link it above. But we're here to talk about some of the advantages from that upgrade that we did and how it's been working out for over a year.
When we got Nelly, we had 4 lead acid batteries. They were 75 amp hours each. So we were able to run a decent amount of things, but there were certain things that we could not run.
There was a lot of disadvantages. So we could have run our TV, our residential refrigerator. A lot of things we couldn't run. We couldn't run our air conditioners. We couldn't run our microwave. We couldn't really run our residential refrigerator overnight. Like, we would drain the batteries. It was kind of bottom of the barrel introduction. You had those interstate batteries. Now, a lot of the newer motorhomes are coming with better batteries. Some of them are lithium, and we're going to talk about lithium batteries. So you may have heard about lithium batteries. It's kind of like the big thing. It's the way, kind of the wave of the future. Electric cars run on lithium batteries. A lot of home backup systems. You see those portable power stations. They're all lithium batteries. So lithium batteries contain lithium inside the battery. And I'm not an engineer. I'm not going to get into all the geek out. I'll put a link below from Battleborn batteries, and they go really into like the chemistry and what lithium is. But we're here more to talk about what are the advantages of lithium, some of the advantages versus the lead acid we had. And in real world, what did those advantages allow us to do? Because that's all that really matters. Lithiums are more expensive than lead acid, but we want to show you, we want to tell you how that's changed our camping.
So we just told you what we could not run with our lead acid batteries. So let's talk about what we can run with our lithium batteries, which is pretty much everything. The ACs, all the lights, the refrigerator, the microwave, everything, you name it.
Yeah, all of our outlets. So when we had the lead acids, we couldn't run any of our GFCI outlets because those were only, they were wired only for when we had our full hookups. But now the way it's been wired, and we're going to show you exactly what our system is like MJ said, we can run everything. Now we do have limits on how long we can run everything, but we have a pretty capable system. We don't have solar. We didn't want the solar for both the amount of space it takes on the roof as well as the cost. The weight, we don't need that.
Right.
But we have a great amount of flexibility on how we can use our system.
So how we like to camp really factors into why we're so happy with this system. A lot of you know this. We do like resorts, but we love to boondock and we love to stay off grid if we're able. The only thing really holding us back now is our tank sizes, but we'll fix that when our next RV comes. But when we went to a NASCAR race, we've been to a couple, but last year we were in the Poconos and we were without hookups for about 5 days, I think. Okay?
Yeah, 5 days.
Right. So it was great because they keep everything running. All we had to do was, turn the generator on a couple hours a day, charge everything up, and you're good to go.
Yeah, we left the house fully charged, 100% on our lithium set. We have 600 amp hours. We're going to show you exactly what we have a little bit later in this video. But during the day, we would keep the AC on like 75, one AC unit. It would kick on and off. And then at night, we'd charge for maybe 2 to 3 hours. We'd kick the generator on. Now, like I said, we don't have solar. If we had solar, that'd be charging all the time, but we were sipping fuel.
Yeah.
I mean, we barely used anything. The big disadvantage was the tanks, and we had to pump out one time, and we were good to go. It really makes a big difference. But not only when you're boondocking, when you're going down the road, we had to run our house air system, our air conditioners. We used to have to turn on the generator. Now we don't have to do that. We can run 5.5 to 6 hours, depending on how much we're using the AC, just on our lithium batteries. And again, we're limited to how much lithium we could have because of storage size, weight. We're kind of limited. when we have a diesel, we plan on really expanding out
Yeah.
our lithium array, but there's a lot of other advantages. A couple of other advantages to lithium. They are extremely light, much lighter. So our lead acid batteries, I believe, were 62 pounds each. We talked about it in detail in the video we linked above. These are 31 pounds each. They have higher energy density. So for about the same size, we get 100 full usable amp hours for each one of our lithium batteries versus those interstate batteries. There was 75 amp hours, but if you know anything about lead acid, only about 50% of that is usable, right? So 75 divided by 2?
37.5.
Good. So we were really only getting about 37.5 amp hours usable off of each battery. So think about it. You had 4 batteries that were much heavier than what our 6 are now, and we were getting less than half of the capacity. So let's show you exactly what we have now. This is not going to be a full detail.
What a nice sheen on Nelly, honey.
It's actually a little dirty. I'm a little embarrassed
Are you
right
embarrassed?
now. Yeah.
Oh,
So this is our current array right now. We have 6 Battleborn batteries. These are 100 amp hour, 12 volt lithium iron phosphate batteries. And you can see here, we also have the Protang. We do have a discount code. We'll put it down below if you're interested in Protang. Protang is a fire suppression system. We do have it on our batteries here. So if these things ever do go up, you have fire suppression. But this is our array. This is
Well,
not
when is that?
heavy.
That discount is over June 30th.
Only June 30th.
So you'd have to call right away.
Yes. So look at a couple of things on here. You can see everything's nice and clean. There's no corrosion, right? These things don't corrode. They're completely sealed. When we had our lead acid batteries, I would have to check the fluid levels a couple of times a year and keep them filled up because that could really affect and damage the battery. It doesn't have the right amount of fluid level in them.
So if somebody has lead acid and you don't know that, make sure you YouTube that.
They're maintenance free. They were like, put them in and forget about them. Now, some people talk about the cold. Lithium batteries can function in the cold in freezing weathers. They will work, they just won't charge. And there's a BMS in here, it's called Battery Management System. If you charge lithium batteries below freezing, there's a kind of cutoff there, it can damage them, but this has a BMS in it. So if it's freezing out below those temperatures, these will not charge. Guys, it's not an issue, right? If we're at home, we're not using anything. If we're on the road and it's below freezing, all you do, you have heated storage bay. It's no issue. They also have batteries that now have heating elements on them. Don't let that be it's kind of like an urban legend at this point. It's not really that big of a deal, but it's not a deal breaker. And I also talked about how we can run pretty much our whole motorhome. The big thing with that is you have to upgrade your inverter. We have a Victron the Multiplus II 3000 watt inverter.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, and this gives us plenty of power. Now, depending on what you want to run, if you have much more that you want to run, 3 air conditioners, 2 air conditioners all day, you know, you have 1500 amp hours, you might have to get more inverters, but this one suits our system just fine. I just want to, because I know I'm going to get a comment somewhere in here. Somebody's going to say, well, that's supposed to be vertically mounted. And you are correct. It is designed to be vertically mounted, but as you can see over here, we don't have the room to vertically mount it. So it was horizontally mounted, and I did put a fan blowing in here. We've had no issues, guys. We have camped 90, 100 degrees. It's no issue. This does have a temperature monitor, so we can monitor it, and it will cut off if it reaches too high, but that's never been an issue for us. Just hopping inside the motorhome, there's one other area here. We have the Bluetooth Victron battery monitor. So you can see we're at 99.9%. The real nice thing with the Victron is that there is an app that you can go. I can go right on the app, tells me the temperature, how much charge, how much is coming in as far as voltage, wattage, how much amps, how much is being put out. It's all in there. It's really easy, very intuitive to use.
Hey, Izzy, you're wearing something really attractive today.
Well, it is our new merch, right? Well, it's not really new.
It's
like
not
6
new.
months old now. But we do have a couple of designs. We don't mention this often because we kind of forget about it. But we do have a merch store, guys. We have the Journey of a Lifetime little emblem there, and then we have our Endless RVing Classic logo.
We have this, but
Journey of a Lifetime on the back.
Right. And we have all different items. We have polo. Somebody actually just bought a polo shirt the other day we have everything. Every item has this, or some have both. We have sweat jackets, t-shirts, polos, you know, women's, kids, pants, mugs.
What kind of material is this, by the way? Because it's really
very
comfortable.
soft. So these are a cotton blend. They're very soft. Every time we film, there's a hurricane out here. Yeah, so they're very, very comfortable. And unlike merch in the past, which I've noticed over time, the logos kind of disintegrate through the laundry, this does not have that problem.
Yeah,
so,
we use a New Jersey-based printer.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
They're really, really good. They get the stuff out, and they kind of can make any design. So
yeah,
go check them out if you're interested in the merch. merch, Perfect Wave. We see you guys at shows, or we'll know our merch. I hope we do.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll put the link below if you want to check it out. So some of the other advantages of lithium, and there are a lot of advantages, is that they last a long time. Now we'll talk about one of the disadvantages, probably one of the few. People are going to talk about the upfront cost, and there's no getting around it. Lithium batteries are more expensive than lead acid batteries. Those prices have come down, and they'll probably continue to come down. But if you were talking about cost overall cost, lithium batteries are actually cheaper because of their lifespan. They last a long time. So Battleborn batteries, they test their batteries for 5,000 full cycles. After 5,000 full cycles, you're still at 80%.
So break that down.
Right, so people say, oh, 5,000, I'll go through that in a week. No, you won't. 5,000 full cycles, if you fully charge and discharge your battery bank every day.
And who's doing that?
Every day, 365 days a year. It will take you 13 and a half years to hit 5,000 full cycles.
Everybody's on their phone with the calculator right now.
Correct.
I'm gonna prove them wrong.
And that doesn't mean that you throw the batteries away. That just means you will only have 80% of your capacity, so you can still keep going.
Right.
Versus lead acid, we had our interstates when we got them. I think they weren't really taken care of when we got them because they did not hold a charge well. We wound up swapping them out to the 6-volt golf cart because of cost, right? And they had some advantages, but it's not like lithium.
It's not even close. Why did we choose Battleborn? Some of you may be asking. There's all different brands out there. A number of reasons. IZZY had been stalking Battleborn for a while.
I always talk about buy once, cry once.
Right.
Get the best the first time if you can.
At shows, online, he had been reading about them. We would go, to their booth at the Tampa show, Hershey show, and he was really interested. So, we talked to them and we actually teamed up with them, and they're a wonderful company.
Yep.
And again, this is not a sponsored video or anything. We just are really happy with the product. They have amazing customer service. Their reputation is top notch, I think, among all the lithium battery companies.
They're a publicly traded company, so they're a huge company.
Yes, they're based in the USA. The people there that work, we've gotten to know them really well.
They love their job.
They're so happy. They're like Trader Joe's employees.
Yeah.
You know how you always walk into Trader Joe's and everybody's happy? That's how Battleborn is, and we've been really happy with them.
Yeah, if you go over to, I think it's Solar DIY with Will Prowse.
Yeah.
He's like an electrical engineer. He literally cuts these things up and breaks them down. One of the top batteries he recommends are Battleborn. Why? Because listen, there's a lot of other cheaper batteries out there, but when he breaks them down and he shows the wells inside, the BMS, tests them, Battleborn is consistently one of the top batteries that he finds. They're excellent, excellent batteries. They do come at a cost, but again, you buy once, you cry once. Now, talking about the cost, since we did team up with Battleborn, we'll put our link below to everything that's on our system. There's also a discount code. You get 50 bucks off of each battery. Listen, if you want to shop other ones, you can do that also. Get what works out for you.
So like we said, we've been really, really happy with this. If you want to see, we didn't dive into it that much in this video, but the full installation and when we first got them, Izzy linked that video before. Go and check that out.
Yeah, we hope this video gave you a little bit better understanding, kind of an overview on why people choose lithium and kind of what you could expect to do with it and what you can't do with it and some of the costs. Comments down below. Do you have a lithium setup? Do you have the lead acid? There's many people that continue to do lead acid, but lithium is kind of the trend. If you see the newer motorhomes, the newer RVs, everybody's kind of going to lithium because there's so many advantages to it. If you like videos like this, to the left of us, we'll put our RV DIY playlist, we'll put our RV upgrades playlist, and for myself and MJ, it's a journey of a lifetime, and we'll see you on the road.